He's saying in Porcelain. Everybody, I'm Andrew here, and welcome back to my channel. It is time for another episode of Pop Culture. So this week's episode of Pop Culture, we're going to be reviewing and talking about the 2017 Victoria's Secret fashion show. First off, I would like to apologize that this review wasn't put out earlier. It's been a very busy week for me, so I did not have time to record it, so finally getting around to it, and I hope you guys enjoy and forgive me. But what is an episode of Pop Culture without champagne? Duh. The glittering glass really fits the Victoria's Secret theme this week. Alright, cheers to the 2017 Victoria's Secret fashion show. So let's begin. So this year the Victoria's Secret fashion show took place in Shanghai, China. First time the fashion show has ever been in China, or anywhere really other than New York. They've been playing around with London and Paris, but mainly it's in the States somewhere, usually New York or Miami, Los Angeles. But they made it to China this year, and it was at the Mercedes Benz Aren in Shanghai. First, I'm going to start by saying the stage was incredible. It was a V-shaped runway, and they had the performers in the middle and a cage kind of like lifted up before the first performance from Harry Styles. So cool. One thing that I was missing a lot, there's no glitter on the runway this year. It was kind of just shiny black. I'm not sure if it changes colors. I don't remember if it changed with the segments, but no glitter on the runway, which is kind of like a Victoria's Secret tradition. So having the show in China led to some unanticipated problems, I should say. A few of the models and performers didn't get granted visas to go over to China to participate in the show. I think most notably Gigi Hadid wasn't granted a visa. She had a video that her sister posted earlier this year of her kind of mocking a cookie of an Asian, I think it was an Asian Buddha or something, cookie. Harmless, but still offensive to the Asian people, which she did apologize for, but unfortunately the apology wasn't enough to get her visa. But weird enough, it got her sister, who posted the video, the visa, and she participated in the show. Bella Hadid was there. And Katy Perry was set to perform. She was going to be the headliner. She also didn't get granted a visa. And a lot of reporters and other photographers couldn't get visas. So this year's show was by far the biggest show, taping wise. I mean, the show's broadcast all across the world. It's one of the only fashion shows that the entire world tunes in to watch. But 4,000 people were in that stadium watching, which is huge. And they had the most models ever, 55 models this year in the show from all over the world, and all different shapes, sizes, colors. It was great. So like normal, the show had 6 segments. The first segment was Punk Angels, which was opened by Candace Swanepoel. This was her first year back after having a baby, so it was kind of cool they gave her that opportunity to open the show. This is the first time that they had multiple models walking at the same time on the runway. So they had Candace open, straight dead center, and then the other models kind of came in from either side and posed together at the end of the runway, and every once in a while they'd have a girl by herself. But that was really cool. This was also the first time that Victoria's Secret collaborated with a huge designer. Belmont helped design the outfits around the lingerie for this year's show, and the outfits were badass. Then next was Porcelain Angels. This was opened by Angel Josephine Scriber. I think that's how she said her last name. I hope. Jojo, if you're watching, don't get mad. You're probably not though. There's a lot of blues and flowers. The next was the infamous Winter's Tale. So this was special for Angel Sarah Sampaio because it was the first time she got to open a segment. She's been an Angel since 2015, I believe, or 14, and she's been walking the show since 2013. And this is where poor Mingzi fell, took her stumble. The show was filmed a week before broadcast, and it went viral that Mingzi got her shoe caught in her train and fell, and she fell hard, everybody. Like almost face hitting the ground. She had wings on. It was tough to watch. And I didn't think that they would be in the final cut of the show. If you didn't know this, the Victoria's Secret fashion show is filmed twice. for this reason specifically, to cut out glitches, to cut out errors, so it looks like a cohesive show. I don't know what it was about this year, but Victoria's Secret decided to keep the fall in the telecast. Maybe it's because it got so much attention and they knew people would talk, but they kept it in the show and it wasn't right. They kind of focused on it a lot too. So Mingzi is a Chinese model, and they focused on her right before the segment, saying that she's so excited her family's here watching, and then they show her fall, and then they show her backstage crying. It was sad. I felt it. I felt her sadness. You know, that can ruin a model's career. She's lucky she's a supermodel. So next was Millennial Nation, which is the pink segment. Right before the segment aired, they had a nice little focus on the two pink spokesmodels, Grace Elizabeth and Zuri Tibby, which is nice. They're young, they're fresh, they're pink, and a lot of times the pink spokesmodels move on to become Victoria's Secret Angels. Next was Nomadic Adventures, which was originally the closing segment. When they taped the show a week ago, that was a closing segment, but for some reason for telecast they flipped it to the second to last segment, which was interesting. They made a big deal before the show that this was Angel Alessandra Zambrosio's final walk with the company. She was retiring from runway modeling, and they made a big deal that they let her close the show, and that was a segment that closed the show, but since they switched it, she didn't close the show, she closed that segment. And it just wasn't fair. Alessandra Ambrosio gave so much to that company. She's one of the biggest angels in the world, biggest supermodels in the world, and a lot of Victoria's Secret's success is owed to her. And then finally was the goddess section. This section was focused on gold, which I love because gold is probably one of my favorite colors. And in this segment they had the fantasy bra worn by Angel Lais Ribeiro, I think that's how her name is spelled. It's the Champagne Nights fantasy bra. It's worth $2 million. So gold, champagne, two of my favorite things. Beautiful, beautiful bra. There were two models that were noticeably missing, in my opinion, from this year's show. Well, three actually. Behatty Prinsloo. This is the second year in a row she hasn't been in the show. She's still a current contract angel, but she's pregnant, so problem solved why she wasn't there. Rachel Hilbert was a spokesmodel for Pink for the longest time, and then she's missing from this show. I don't know if her contract ended or she couldn't get a visa, but didn't have much press on why she wasn't in the show this year. And then Kendall Jenner. The reason Kendall Jenner wasn't in the show is because she signed a huge contract with French lingerie brand La Perla, which has a no competition clause, so she actually wasn't allowed to participate in the Victoria's Secret fashion show. It would have been a breach of her contract. And finally, let's get to the performances. So, as we know, Harry Styles was the headliner that replaced Katy Perry. Or he wasn't replacing her, but he was replacing her. He did great. I like Harry Styles way more than I thought I would. But he sang in Punk Angels, he sang his song Kiwi, and he sang in Goddesses, and he sang the song Only Angel. Seems fitting. And now we have a ton of memes of Harry Styles' dad dances. Then they had Miguel perform, and he was singing in Porcelain Angels and Nomadic Adventure. In Porcelain Angels, he sang the song Pineapple Skies, and in Nomadic Adventures, he sang Told You So. He did great. I haven't heard from Miguel in a while, so it was nice to see him back and at the Victoria's Secret fashion show, the biggest fashion show in the world. And they had Leslie Odom Jr., who is in Hamilton. He took He took the leading guy's role after he left, and he sang in Winter's Tale, and the song he sang was Winter's Song. He did good. They also showed him after poor Ming's fall, saying that when you fall 7 times, you get up 8 times. And then in Millennial Angels, or the pink segment, they had Chinese superstar Jane Zhang. She sang a medley of 3 songs, Work For It, 808, and Dust Off My Shoulders. This girl, I hope after this show she gets some US popularity, because she was great. If she was singing live, which I think she was, that was incredible. She has a great voice. She was sexy, but not raunchy. She was great. But anyways, overall, it was a great show. The Victoria's Secret fashion show is a big event that many people look forward to each and every year. Anyways, if you guys like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Remember to hit the subscribe button. I put out new videos every single week. Leave a comment below. Were some of your favorite models left out? Or what was your favorite segment? Mine was goddesses. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!